Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that last video. It was just a slam together video that I wanted to get out for you guys. If I didn't get that video out, it'd probably be another 2 weeks. And that one, I didn't realize was going to be so long anyway. I could have probably cut a lot out of it, but here we are. Oh, what we're going to start to do today is we're going to start making our upper intercooler hoses. And I'm going to call the hoses off of the intercooler right here my upper hoses, right? And what we have is something that's a little fancy. I'll show you right here. Now, there's multiple ways to do this. No way's the wrong way. However you want it to be it. You can, get your fittings out of here to push lock rubber hoses. Run them up through the car to the tank. That'd probably be the cheapest way to do it. I'm not a huge fan of push lock. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the black rubber hoses. I prefer everything to be braided, black braided AN hose. It's just my preference. Now your second method is to get some bulkheads. Some -16 bulkheads with the nut. You drill some holes through the panels. Take your time. You got to measure the crap out of everything. Get these things perfectly, top to bottom, center even, so you can still get hoses on it. And then, there's a whole lot of jam nut you got to deal with, and that. I chose to go a little bit fancier route, and I picked up the Motion Raceworks dual bulkhead pass-through. Now, this requires, obviously, so far this is the most expensive option. And there's the part number if you want to see it. But I think it's also going to be the cleanest. And if you look at everything else, being clean, show car worthy. Some of that side of the intercooler here, making me bothersome, is one of my priorities when building my combos. Oh, I'm not really too fond of the other methods, which is fine. This is my method. This is how I'm going to do it this time. So I picked this up. I don't even remember how much these things cost. They're not that expensive. It's honestly the 4 fittings you need. Because that's the only downside to this. Is you need 4 -16 ORB fittings. That is pretty fancy. Now, what's cool about this is it's already on one plate, right? So you just take a hole saw to this, and you can get your 2 holes, and you don't have to worry about being, absolutely 100% perfect for it to look good. Pretty simple. They give you a template, which it's nice that it comes with a template. A lot of places don't do templates, which I think is silly. You're going to spend the money R&D and everything. Go ahead and make the template. It's not hard. You have it written up in your software. I could be wrong. I know absolutely nothing. Oh, it comes with a bunch of hardware, and Allen head, button head, whatever you want to call them, lock nuts. So we're going to cut. Oh, I didn't even notice. They tell you the size of the drill bits you need for the 2 holes. So we're going to cut this out, and we're going to start playing with it in the back fender well over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come out, go down this wheel well, just open up the support a little bit, and go down the side of the car up into the trunk to a water tank. So, trying to figure out where the best would be. And what I'm also thinking about is these are my AC hoses right here. I'm thinking about making 2 bulkheads right here for those, right? And then those can come down. Maybe. I don't know. I have to think about that behind the strut. I guess I could also do this. That might not be a bad idea. You gotta be careful because this, where you bend this, it doesn't bend you know, the metal piece don't bend. So I was just mocking up some hoses with, I don't have the correct fittings, but at least I can mock it up. These are those bulkheads I showed you. And I think the best course of action is going to be like that. Just trying to mock it up to get, it's going to get ugly in this area. It's going to get ugly really fast. AC hoses, heater core hoses, intercooler hoses, it's going to get ugly. So we're going to do our best to make this look good. And I think, I hate to say this, it'll probably be expensive because of the fittings, but I think I'm going to use Earl's Ultra Pro for these upper intercooler hoses just because they're so flexible down to here. The ones I was just using is very difficult. It's gonna look something about yay. It's very hard to get that thing to look straight, but you know, there's so many weird angles, so it's gonna be like that. But you see what I'm dealing with here hose wise. So I think this might be what we do. All right, well, I knew I was bound to fuck something up sooner or later, and I might have made some miscalculations here. And so I got this in, and the problem is this panel's not completely flat. So I was putting it in and trying to adjust some stuff, and I ended up cracking, you know, I shaved the base, so there's body filler. I cracked some of the body filler in this corner. Doesn't look the greatest. I'm not very happy about it. And mistake number 2 is there's a good chance this dash 16 fitting is gonna hit my goddamn tire. You know, I want to show you guys all the mess ups as well. Ain't nobody perfect. As you can see, I got a couple inches of room here. Don't get me wrong. But I think once there's a fitting on there and then another fitting, it's going to hit the freaking tire. Might have messed up big. So, I mean, the Dash 16 stuff's not small by any means. Oh, I turned the tire to get it full turn, and there's a little weight off the nose, but yeah, I am so screwed. Oh shit. No, that is just, it's screwed. I'm screwed. I have that in my fender well because I can't use this. I'm so and I know better too. It was already having a crap week. It was a very busy week and hectic, and I should have just not touched this thing. But I was like, oh, I'll hum this in there really quickly. What can go wrong with it? That's what went wrong with it. Like, I don't even know what to say or do. I mean, I can cover it up. So to fix this, I gotta take the engine. I don't have to take the engine out of the car, but I have to take the engine out of the car. To fix this would to be cut it out, put it in a new piece of metal, refill it all, and respray it. But I'm not trying to take this engine out. So what I think I'm going to do is, I got some carbon fiber. I think I'm just going to make a patch panel. You know, inlay a piece of carbon fiber in there to cover it up for this year. And, you know, maybe next winter, yank the motor out and redo some of the bay. Because I got to get the front bars painted this year. All the new mounts and everything welded, but I'm so aggravated with myself. And the worst part is I still don't even know where to put this stupid thing. Alright, well, this is a continuation from the water hose. Sorry, it's freaking cold outside. I still can't figure out where I'm going to mount that thing. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I think it'll fit down there. But what I'll have to do is I'll get 16 ORB 45s so they come straight up, and then I could loop the hose over and in. I don't know, before I cut more holes, because I already got to patch this. But wait, got the radiator mocked up, got the water pump mocked up, because I got another piece in that is amazing. I've wanted for a long time. And that's this big old beautiful billet. Look at that. So if you don't know what this is a Clearview filtration system. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to see the oil in your engine as it's running. What it does is it comes out of the engine into here, down into the filter, back out. You can go back into your engine, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to an oil cooler and then back into the engine. What's really nifty about this unit is it's this isn't together. This is 3 pieces that are just separate. I was able to get this pre-anodizing, so this can get sent out to Dieters and get polished. So this isn't complete. You can see the top. You can see right through here, and there's usually a piece of polycarbonate in here, and right below that is a screen, a filter screen. This 115 micron. I'll show you. Hold on. There's the screen, 115. Yeah, 115. Big screen. And there's the piece of polycarbonate that sits in the top. A 1/2 inch thick. Holds a lot of pressure. It has to. So I got spares of everything. Spare O-rings. Well, that's an O-ring kit and a spare O-ring kit. I want a full set of spares in the trailer, just in case. Takes -12 ORBs, but I'm using -10, so they had supplied the fittings, instructions, you know, hardware. Yeah, you see the oil running through the car, through the engine as it's running. Cool. What's unique about this is right here in the top has a Schrader valve, right? What you do, take a little blast of air, and it'll push the oil out of this housing, and you'll be able to see anything left in top of that filter, that 115 micron filter. Now, obviously, if you got bearing dust in there, it's going to work its way through here, and you're not really going to see that. You might. I'm not even 100% sure. I don't know anyone personally who actually runs one of these. But the whole thought process is you can see the engine starting to have issues without tearing it down. And you can catch it early. Come make a pass, look right in there, you're good to go. They make a bunch of different ones. This is a 4-inch with a spin-on filter. And they make another 4-inch that takes a spin-on filter, but it takes like a System 1 filter, which is a reusable one. And the difference is, see the machine groove? The System 1 one doesn't have that. This fits right in the groove, so you don't blow the groove, so you don't blow it out by accident. Not by accident, by pressure. It also takes a much bigger filter than what I was using. This is my previous filter. Like Wix. That's the new filter. You can see the significant size difference. So on top of, now I'm in essence doubling my filtering, because I have that screen in top and then I have the racing filter below it. I can see what's going on in the engine. And also, so the best bet is to call these guys. Don't order it online, call them. That's your best bet, I promise you. So I told him it was a twin turbo street car, drag week style. he made sure I got one with dual outlets off the filter housing for my turbo feeds. And they even sent the correct fittings with it. So, I mean, there's a whole box of goodies in there that I'll assemble this thing. Oh, and they sent the mounting flange as well. Just a nice trick little billet piece. Also, we went and picked up the trans back up from Accurate Transmission here in Connecticut. I'll show you, got some stickers. He's, you know, I think I said before, Anthony, he knows what he's doing. He knows his crap. He'll straightforward with you. A good turnaround. I mean, you can't beat it. Took the whole trans apart. Cleaned everything up. Won't look like much changed out here because nothing really did. Nope, we are all assembled. He plugged the speedometer for me instead of the stupid thing that was there. This has all been changed. Oh, you have your input shaft here. All right. Oh. This has all been changed. Got rid of the steel hub. You see how big the hole is, right? Because it's still the stock size, but you see how big the hole is compared to that one. Much beefier. So a 300M input shaft, upgraded output main shaft, upgraded. We upgraded that to the BTE unit, if you remember. This upgraded. This is some of the clutches. This is the ones that got hot. This was third gear. You know, all new seals. Nope, stupid Speedo. Why that was still in there is just beyond me. So yeah, that's all came out of it. Everything's upgraded. He says we're good for about 1,500 horse now. So it should last quite a while. I mean, I didn't break anything in this, and he says he sees a lot of that stuff break 800-ish. We upgraded. So obviously we put that BTE direct drum in with those new clutches in it. That hybrid half aluminum, half with the steel hub. Make safer in case it blows apart. It doesn't come out of the case. So we did the 300M input shaft, the 300M main shaft, steel hub, aluminum piston for second. We put a case and a case saver in it. So that's that. I'm happy to have this back, all ready to go. So if you remember, we had a valve in here, right here. Remember before drag week, I was nervous, not sure what really caused the issues. So I put that valve in, and he dynoed it, and I was like, can you check it without that valve? Because I'd like to know. So it is at 85 PSI converter pressure. Perfect. The only thing I got to do is I got to double check it once I get the cooler hooked back up. Because, you know, it might raise the pressure a little bit going to the cooler hoses. So other than that, it's good to go. I don't need this anymore. As long as that stays in check once the cooler's all hooked up. What I think I'm going to do to mount that oil filter housing is I think I'm going to take 2 inches of this, you know, at an angle, weld a flat plate to it. This way the housing can bolt to that, and then I could weld this right up to the frame rail. So we got to cut 2 inches out of this. One of these days I'll buy the swag table for that thing. But just some scrap I have. Oh, it'd be nice if I put it up that high, but it's gonna have to go at an angle like this. And the square plate's ugly, so I'm gonna round this thing out, cut this down to the size it needs to be, but it was just a rough cut. What I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna cope this thing first to the frame rail. Somewhere in this vicinity. Alright. I love coping. So much fun. I'll mark where I want my center to be. Well, sometimes it just works out for you. I'll show you what. Get down in here closer. It's gonna be right around this area. But hey, look at that. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Huh? Pretty good fit up, huh? Alright. There it is. All mounted up. So I tried to use my TIG to weld this thing all the way to the frame rail, and it just wasn't happening getting up in here in this tight corner, and then I'm still not really good upside down. So I busted out the MIG and finished this thing up and cleaned it all up. I hate MIG welding, but it just makes a mess. But it's in. I cleaned it all up, splashed some paint on it, it'll be fine. That thing is pretty sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Clearview oil filtration system. And what I have to do is I have to buy the cooler. I still haven't decided which one I want to buy. I think I know. And start making the lines. I can start making the line from here to the engine. And what we're going to do is, what we're going to use, I should say, this is obviously, I have a Moroso 20143 oil pan. It's the one with the spin-on oil filter. They make a bunch of different adapters that you can unbolt that particular unit and bolt in, another aluminum block that has 2-10 orbs in and out on the side and the bottom. But someone was like, hey, I got this thing sitting on my shelf that I never ended up using. I parted my car out. I'll give it to you for, pay shipping on it. I want to support the channel and what you do. And what he did is he sent me a improved racing oil relocation Jim Jammy thing here. This is pretty slick. I kind of like it better than the Moroso options because this is fully adjustable. So here's that piece. All right, so that goes up into your, there's a rubber grommet right here. This goes up to where the filter goes. You got your in and out. It's clearly labeled, right? Out in ENV-191. And then you have this from them, which you can tighten up. It tells you 13/16-16 filter thread. HSC 5102 is the part number. And this, what's nice is, you could clock this on your oil pan. So he sent this to me, he had it brand new, and I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. You can buy all different threads for your filters. Just make sure you get the right one. And I got some -10 fittings to go into it. So I got to get the filter off the bottom of the engine. I don't think I ever drained the oil out of this. I should probably drain the oil and take the filter out. So this bolts up to there. And then you got your out. So I can, I could figure out where I have to clock this thing to get lines to where I gotta go. So for now, we can actually make... I haven't decided if I just want to use regular AN hose, or if I want to go PTFE with this, just for the simple fact that it's hot. Oil's hot. It's 200 degrees. I don't see why regular AN hoses won't work. I don't know. I gotta do some research on that. I gotta drain the filter. I get this bolted up, and then I can figure it out. But I can't do anything with this end of it until I buy a oil cooler. I'm probably gonna do something like a 30 row with a fan. I think that should be more than enough. My buddy Dave runs just a 30 generic derail 30 row with some cheap Spall fan. I don't know if it's even a Spall. But I'm gonna do, so Improved Racing has a nice bar plate cooler. Sorry, I'm trying to bring it up so I could just be correct with what it was. I forgot they were so expensive. So something of this nature. Alright. I don't know if you can see that clearly. But yeah, something of that nature with a fan mounted right here in the bumper. So it's a nice, quick, easy, and I could keep all the oil lines up under this frame rail. Well, I think that was enough nonsense going on in this video. Sorry, we're kind of jumping around here. I'm still waiting on a bunch of stuff, bunch of parts to come in, so I can't really do everything at once. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and be on the lookout for more videos. Get in the garage, grab a cold beer, get to work on your hot rod. Have a good night, guys.